slow from Gunblade. Amumu doing a decent job building up his tankiness. He knows he wants the magic resist from Banshees because they have a primarily magic team. Singed is able to get the toss onto Vigar, so he dies. Amumu goes down, being very careless, being very aggressive, running into the enemy team while the tower was basically dead. Talon is able to get out, but Akali will likely go down. The passive from Warwick does pick up her scent. Akali is able to pick up the kill onto Vigar or onto Zillion, but she goes down soon after that. And Singed needs a teammate to tank the tower. He has the creeps here. He should be running out. He actually knows that no one's there because Riven is bot taking this tower. So Riven will get the tower because Riven knows that there's nothing that Riven can do. So they are going to lose mid though. They have lost this inhibitor. Purple is really pulling away with this game. At this point, you really just want to be as defensive as possible. You only want the best engages for yourself. And that last fight wasn't a good engage for Blue. They were trying to defend this broken tower, and unfortunately, they were defending it 2 at a time, and Purple was able to pick up the kills. Really, all that Purple needs to do, because they have this huge advantage right now, is ward up around Baron, get a pink on the Baron, just so you have an understanding of what's going on in the map, and then take Baron or force the fight. Warwick is soloing Dragon by himself, but he does not have vision, I'm assuming, because he does not know that 3 people are here. They are ganging up on him, and they do find Warwick. They are going to pick this kill very easily. The stun for Vigar. Warwick's Banshees popped, actually, just as they were in the middle of the fight. Oh, no, that was Amumu's, because of the bandage toss. So, really not what you want to be doing. You don't want to be running off by yourself when you're in the lead, because guess what? Not only did Blue just get the kill, they also got the Dragon. And, that's exactly what Blue wants to be able to get back into this game. And they really have a lot of damage output as this game progresses, where Purple has to watch out. You can't let these guys farm. When you're in the lead, you need to aggressively push to end the game. And really the way they need to do that right now is by focusing on Baron, which really means that Blue, though they've had no ward coverage for most of the game, they really need to get a ward on Baron, get wards on the Baron area, including this brush here, so that they know that they're safe to go after Baron when Purple does, and that if Purple goes after Baron, Purple can't sit in this brush and then just kill all of Blue as they walk into the brush. So they definitely want a couple of wards in this area. Otherwise, Purple could really just take this game right away. You see Singed does have his Force of Nature, which is a really great item. He has the Rod of Ages for some tankiness. The Force of Nature gives him the magic resist, gives him the movement speed, and allows him to take some of the enemy's poke damage with his the sustain. Warwick, or Gangplank, is building towards a Frozen Mallet. I'm not sure that I agree with that item at all, because Warwick already has a built-in slow. Yes, the Frozen Mallet synergizes very well with his Q. Annie, flashing in on top of Vigar, is able to pick up that kill. She just barely, for a second, popped into vision range, but she, aggressively came in. She saw Vigar out of position, and was able to get another kill onto him. So, Gangplank really needs probably more damage or more tankiness. Yes, he's going to get a lot of health, but he really needs to get some magic resist and fast. Annie, she has her damage. She has Rabadons. She has Void Staff. Because you see, a couple of these people have magic resist. And Void Staff doesn't give you a lot of ability power, but that's what Rabadons is for. What Void Staff does is it, almost doubles your damage output against people who have built magic resist. So she does have that. She is building towards Azonia's. She's going to have a ton of damage. Singed is chasing after Talon and Amumu and Akali here. The ult goes off from Warwick. Gangplank's running down. They are able to pick up Akali. Chasing down Talon. They are going to get the Amumu. And they probably will get this Talon. Warwick ults finally on the Talon after the Vigar stun. It was actually Riven there. They pick up Riven. And now it's 5v2? 5v2, and Talon is split pushing. Talon really needs to get back quickly, and Gangplank decided to defend the Talon push. Just, capital mistake. They have a 5v1 against Vigar. You can push down these Nexus turrets, end the game right now. They had actually just won that game, but instead Gangplank decided to chase after Talon, and guess what? Talon's been farming all game while you haven't, Gangplank. So he's going to get this kill into Gangplank. Can he get the kill? He's got the red slow. He just barely doesn't get it. He probably could have been aggressive. One more attack, or the slow from his W would have picked up that kill. Vigar and Akali are able to pick up the kill onto Warwick. So, Purple Team gets the advantage. They get a triple kill. It's 5v2 advantage. And instead of aggressively pushing, they all kind of split up. Gangplank dies bot, so now Talon's going to get this bot tower, and there's the bot tower. Warwick splits up from his team, and so Vigar and Akali are able to pick him up. And this team is an assassin team, so they are really built to take people off one at a time when you're out of position. Singed with the toss on the Riven, he's getting a lot of damage on him. From Annie, from Zilean, he does go down. Singed is still chasing after this Akali. He will not get her. She will get back to safety, but this game might be slipping away from them. They still definitely have the game, but Purple definitely needs to be careful. And Annie is able to get the kill onto Akali. Singed is chasing after Amumu. He is going to get the toss onto Amumu. A lot of damage. The stun from Vigar trying to protect Amumu, but the ult from Gangplank is able to pick up that kill. And you see Singed, with that Force of Nature, just has so much health regen. He's just running around, not really minding anything. And Purple Team is able to pick up this inhibitor. They are going to move over, take this second inhibitor, clearing out these creeps. They will have 2 inhibitors and a lot of creeps forcing down. They'll probably get another tower here. A lot of damage going off on Gangplank if there's another stun, but Gangplank just barely gets out of there. And so they did get the inhibitor. They will probably get this other tower, but they are able to pick up the Singed kill. Singed being a little careless, he's, a little impressed with himself. Warwick ults on top of Talon, but Talon's able to get out with his invisibility and with the stun from Vigar. So they weren't able to pick up that kill, unfortunately. But still, they've got a lot of creeps barreling down. What they really should do, though, is recall, buy your items. I'm sure they have a ton of gold from all these kills and all these towers and inhibitors. You can actually go bot and finish this tower with Gangplank, but then Purple should recall and make one final push to end this game in the next couple of minutes. Continuing to look at items, Warwick has bought a Malady, so he will be doing some dot. Usually, Malady and Wit's End are about the same damage, and Malady does give you a little more attack speed than Wit's End, but Wit's End also gives you magic resist. So, I'm not going to say that Malady is a bad item, but in this instance, for Warwick, I would say that he probably wants more of the Wit's End. Though the benefit of Malady is it does have magic resist reduction, and because they have Annie doing well, and because they have Zilean doing well, I guess he wants to get all that damage for his team with that magic resist reduction. Singed has the Realize Crystal Scepter. I really don't know how Blue is going to be able to come back from this. This seems like a lost game to me. They did do a decent job, but Singed with the Realize Scepter, no one will be able to chase him. He can throw his dot all he wants and slow them. Just kind of running around trolling everybody. Akali does have that Gunblade, so she has decent damage. Vigar has a Rabadon's finally, so he's going to have a lot of damage output. Riven, not that much damage. She does have some survivability, though, and she does have Yumu's. Talon has the Brutalizer for the Great Armor Pen, and then the Bloodthirster for some damage, but nothing really special there. He probably wants some magic resist, but maybe because of his invisibility, he thinks he'll be okay. And Akali and Rubu throwing down all this damage, they are able to pick up the kill onto Gangplank, but then Warwick and Annie are able to pick up the kill on Riven, but then Akali is chased down by Annie. Warwick is going to die. Amumu dies, but then they are able to pick up the kill onto Annie from Vigar and Talon is able to pick up the kill onto Warwick, and he's probably going to get the kill onto both Zilean and Singed here. Let's see how far they can chase. The stun from Vigar will be coming up soon. He should probably chase after them. He's being kind of defensive. I guess maybe it's a little bit longer stun than I expected. But, I mean, any exchange is in Purple's favor, but that was definitely a good exchange for Blue. But at the same time, they aren't going to be able to defend these towers. The blink-in and the slow from Talon is able to pick up the kill on Zilean. Singed was trying to pop that Zilean passive, but he was not able to get it off in time. And this will be good game. I guess they're going to be able to defend these creeps. Vigar is throwing down his damage, is able to pick up all of these creeps. Everyone is back up, and they were able to just effectively hold the enemy team for a little bit and get a bunch of kills. And it's starting to get into the point of the game where if you get one kill, you could, or if you get one ace and some of your team is up, they're tanky enough, they have enough damage where they could potentially just push down a lane, just say, hey, guys, we have to just base race this. We got our ace. we have to just go, all out, balls to the wall. We're not going to get another chance. And, that might be something that we see coming up soon. Everyone has their damage. You see Talon actually just bought a Frozen Mallet and a Negatron Cloak, which he didn't have a second ago, so he was saving up that money. He should probably buy Quicksilver Sash. He has the money for it. I would expect him to get that right now. He's probably building up some Banshees, but really because he already has the damage output, he's going to want the cleanse from the Quicksilver Sash. Gangplank has his Triforce, so he's going to have a lot of damage output and a decent amount of survivability, though he probably wants a Negatron Cloak for himself. Very even teams, to be perfectly honest. Everyone's farming effectively at this point in the game. It could have been a little more farming early, but lots of back and forth, lots of dragons and Baron control going on. They don't have any vision, unfortunately, as they haven't the entire game. So Purple is probably getting Baron. They are not going for Baron, but they are coming in for this Talon. And Talon's going to have a really hard time coming up because Annie's walking up right in this brush here. He does flash to Warwick, and he uses his invisibility, but he kind of jukes them. Oh, he jukes and then flashes. Is Annie going to be able to get in range for the kill? They throw off the CD. Annie does get the ultimate. Warwick's going to get the ultimate if he needs to, and Talon is going to go down here. Singe is running down through the enemy. Here he is, through the jungle. They just saw Riven, so Singe is going to catch up to Riven. He's going to have his slow from his poison. He misses on the targeted slow, but he is going to get a toss back into his team. There's the toss, and he's going to pick up this kill. Warwick ulted. There's the kill. This is going to be GG. There's really no way that they can defend this now. It is 5v3. They are going to have 2 inhibitors down. They only have 1 Nexus turret, which is close to dead. Singed is taking this Nexus turret taking some damage. He's tanking it for his team. He wants those minions to be strong. He really shouldn't be tanking it so much. Vygar is able to get all of his damage and the stun off onto Annie, taking a lot of damage. Gangplank throwing his ultimate on top of them. Gangplank is able to chase down Vygar. The recall, or the revive from Zilean goes off on the Singe. They are chasing after Akali, though. They are able to pick up the Amumu, and they are able to pick up the Akali. So now there are 4 people just versus Talon. Talon is the one and only defender. They will be able to pick up this kill. They will be able to pick up this Nexus, and this will be GG. They're throwing out the surrender vote, actually, because they know it's over. Just hit no. There's no reason to surrender with 5 seconds left. I guess they want the double bomb surrender. I voted yes, but my vote doesn't matter. And they are able to pick up this win. Effective play overall from Purple. As we take a look... Oh, I should have paused. I gotta learn to do that, actually. I gotta learn to pause so I can look at the champion screen. But as we see... definitely an effective team comp from Purple. They didn't have a lot of physical damage, which I, don't necessarily agree with. I think Gangplank could have farmed more bottom, but they know that they have Zilean to counter this assassin team, this burst assassin team. They're going to try and burst someone down. Zilean's going to throw the revive, and very quickly that fight could turn against them. They have all of the damage from Annie. Annie was able to get fed very early on. And then they really aggressive pushing early on, is exactly what you want to be doing in the game. They had their first tower at around 13 minutes. They had Dragon every single time it spawned, except for the one time Warg was a little bit careless. They had a couple of mistakes there when they were definitely in the lead, but they were able to hold on to the lead and effectively, push Blue Team out of it by not allowing them to farm, not allowing them to catch up, and they were able to push that for a win. Definitely good game all around.